All right, everybody, what is going on? Happy Tuesday. Good morning. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. We got to take a look at how the young players on this team are doing. It is time for Youth Watch Tuesday. You guys probably know the drill by now. We just take a look at players on rookie contracts or rough equivalents and see how they're performing for the Seahawks so far this season, just to get an idea about how the organization is doing in terms of keeping up on the things they need to keep up on. Because if you're not getting a lot out of your rookie contract players, then you're missing out on a tremendous market efficiency, and you're probably not having a lot of success as a team. So we're gonna take a look at some of these young players here. Once again, for yet another week, the eighth week in a row, we don't have to talk about Jalen Milroe because he didn't play. He was not active. So we get to skip that part and go right to running back. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today. Get to it and go have some fun with sports this year. So, running back, Ken Walker, not the greatest game he's ever had, but again, generally effective, generally efficient. Gave you somewhere around 4.5, slightly less than 4.5 yards per touch. And remains a PFF darling. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is barely ahead of him right now, and that's the only running back that is on PFF grading. And he's probably about to hit 1,000 yards from scrimmage on the season, and he's going to end up somewhere around, I'd say, 1,300 yards. I mean, look, I understand he's not as good as the best running backs in football, but he's proven himself this year in a few different ways, and I don't want to take that away from him. I do think this is the best year of his career, and that's with or without touchdowns. Like, he's getting sniped. I can't hate on a man for getting sniped. Not really in his control. And I don't know what his future is. But we're definitely at the point now where even if the Seahawks decide to commit to him beyond this season, I'm not going to say that it's bad. I don't know if it's optimal, but it wouldn't be bad. And Zach Charbonnet, also an effective game for him as well. He, I think, probably did really well in terms of getting yards over expected. I think that he, obviously, he got the touchdown. He, I think he showed off his power a little bit. He picked up a lot of first downs in this game. PFF grade went up almost to 80, so we're doing really well there. So Charbonnet, I mean, hey, he's he's a part of this too. I know that we haven't gotten everything we wanted out of Charbonnet this year in general, but he is definitely part of this team doing what they need to do the rest of the way. Holani didn't play. Oots only playing a handful of snaps a game now, and I think he's doing fine. Obviously, he's not up there with the best fullbacks in the league or anything, but I don't even really know what a best fullback in the league would really look like. So what that even means, I'm not sure. And we are running the ball more successfully than we have all season this last month, with Robbie Oots really not giving you very much at all. So I think that he's probably just not part of the formula right now, really. Receivers, JSN finally has a quiet game. Somebody was going to do it eventually. Somebody was going to come up with something to keep him quiet. And I mean, you had 2 touches for 23 yards or something. PFF grade fell a little bit, although really not all that impactfully. The thing to keep in mind here is that game, the thing that was compelling from that game is the Vikings also couldn't score, so the Seahawks were never really in a position where they had to throw it. if the game had been competitive in the second half, JSN probably would have gotten going eventually. So it was just kind of a perfect storm of JSN's not going to get his today. So I'm not sweating it. It happens. Shout out to the Vikings, and sometimes you just got to give credit. And AJ Barner is the next guy who actually did something in this game, did another barnyard, leading receiver. Probably going to get you somewhere around 500 yards on the season on somewhere around 60 touches. Now, some of those touches are going to be barnyards, but the barnyards are valuable, man. And if you take a look at the other tight ends in this league, Barner's not necessarily near the top, but on a team that really doesn't throw the ball very much, I think Barner's doing great. 75.3 PFF grade, playing about 80% of the snaps. That is more than we thought we were going to get out of AJ Barner. Now, Arroyo, goose egg for him, not much to say. Not even getting out of the starting blocks. It's just one of those things where he's I don't know, he's an afterthought in this offense right now, and maybe that's part of the reason why the offense hasn't been up to its standard, you might say, but I don't know. He's never really been a big part of the offense this year except for one game. But I'm not going to sweat it too much. Again, a big reason why Arroyo's not doing much is because Barner's been much better than we thought he was going to be. And look, sometimes a happy accident means that there's going to be some collateral. So not going to trip on it. I do think that it highlights the fact that that pick could have been spent better somewhere else. But at the same time, it's not like the team is suffering for a lack of a number one tight end. Offensive line stuff, Cross, pretty clean. He wasn't graded great. His run blocking grade, I think, yeah, his run blocking grade was really poor. I don't totally know why. I didn't get that impression watching the game, but no penalties, no pressures. Same for Gray Zabel, by the way, even though he got punished in the grading again. And I don't really have anything new to add to the Zabel discussion. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I don't think anything can make it make sense. I think that PFF is just a little off here, and it happens, but it's pretty egregious at this point. They literally have Gray Zabel graded worse than Anthony Bradford. Jalen Sundle didn't play. Anthony Bradford actually had a clean game as well, in terms of the fact that they didn't give him any pressures or penalties. Now, I don't think that means he played well, and they didn't grade him well, in fairness. They gave him a terrible run block grade, which is the only reason why he could possibly be defensible still in the lineup. And his grade in general has slipped again. So I don't know if this is going to get fixed anytime soon, but right now there is a tremendous appetite with this Seahawks fan base to get him out of there and never have to deal with him again. And Oluwatimi played manageably, still helping this team in the run game. I do think you lose something with him in some areas, but he is at the very least proving his value in other areas, and it's just a trade-off. And look, hopefully next year we actually have a center that's good, and we're not playing this whack-a-mole game with like two centers that are pretty lackluster, but I do think that Oluwatimi is at least offering something. Okay, that's the offense. Defense, Byron Murphy, another good game. PFF didn't like it, but I don't know why. Gave you a few tackles and a sack. Minnesota couldn't run the ball at all until garbage time. So, I mean, I don't know what else he's supposed to do, really. Now, Mike Morris didn't play a lot, didn't make a big impact. So not really anything to say there, but yeah, he at this point, Morris is just kind of there to fill space. We don't need him as an edge rusher anymore, and as a down lineman, just a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not going to think too hard about it. I'm not going to worry about it too much. He's filling a role. Linebacker Tyrese Knight had one tackle in this game. I think it was on special teams. Still fine, still whatever. I mean, he only played like 3 snaps defensively, so maybe it was even 2, so we don't learn a lot there. Drake Thomas, though, really good game for him. Maybe the best game of his career if you trust PFF. 5 tackles, including a sack or half a sack. Big-time playmaker. Makes a lot of great plays near the line of scrimmage. He's, again, I think the day-to-day stuff as an off-ball linebacker is it could stand to be better, but he's been a big playmaker for this defense. He's actually statistically one of the best playmaking linebackers in football, and his PFF grade's almost 70 now. So, I think we're definitely getting to a point now where we can look at Drake Thomas and say he's a part of the short-term future. I don't know if I want him to be my weak side linebacker for the next 8 years or anything like that, but for the time being, we got something, and he's going to be very cheap next year, is the thing. Edge rusher, Boye Mafe made a couple of tackles, did a little bit of work in the backfield, but again, it's just, I'm really surprised at how much Mafe has kind of fizzled as a playmaker. He's not playing bad. He's just not doing anything that advocates for him getting treated like an upcoming edge rusher, a young upcoming stud edge rusher in this league. He's, I thought maybe that after this year he'd be looked at as like a George Karlaftis type, but he is not even close to that at this point, and I don't even know what to expect this offseason, but at this point, I cannot imagine that he's getting a significant contract. The contract he gets next may be so insignificant that Seattle might be able to keep him for very cheap, which I'm not against, but it does highlight the fact that this year has just not gone according to plan. Derek Hall, kind of the same thing in this game, not a big impact. PFF, I know, graded him pretty poorly. I think he had like one tackle. Again, not a guy playing badly, and I actually think the stats are selling Derek Hall short. Unlike Boye Mafe, I think that Derek Hall has actually shown a lot of really good stuff this year that I wanted to see, but it's not translating to the numbers that you're looking for, and it's not going to translate to him getting paid early this offseason, which probably wasn't going to happen anyway, but I would have certainly liked to have seen him ascend a little bit more than he did. We'll see where this ends up going. Okay, we're to the defensive backs now. Secondary, we got Reek Woolen, makes a few tackles, first interception this year, and it's a great play too. I know that he messes it up at the end, but that interception there are not very many players in this league that can make picks like that, and he's one of them. And despite that, his PFF grade went down. Strikes me as very suspect, I got to be honest. I don't know why. I don't know why they thought he played bad. I don't know why we're supposed to believe he was bad, but I think he played a really good game on Sunday. Now, granted, it was easy to play a good game because of Max Brosmer, but as someone that has been very, very hard on Reek Woolen this season and in previous seasons, I think we're in a pretty good spot with him right now. That doesn't mean I want to extend him. Sorry about that. I stepped on something down there. But that doesn't mean I want to extend him, and I don't think we can extend him necessarily, but I do think that hey, at the very least, he's pulling his weight now. Witherspoon, few tackles. Coverage was clean. He didn't make any plays in coverage, but he didn't get beat up. 83.9 PFF grade. That's right up there with the best, man. That is up there with the best. And I know he's doing it kind of stealthy, but he is doing it this year. Do not get it twisted. Devin Witherspoon is playing very well this year when he's on the field, and I think that a lot of people don't know how good he is. What he does makes this run defense go in many ways. Pritchett played a little bit in garbage time, and I think got his special teams tackle. Safety, Kobe Bryant picks off a pass, so a couple of tackles. Still really solid, man. I know he's not a superstar or anything like that, but he's really kind of turned into somebody that you can just depend on back there to do his job. And there's a reason why we're talking about an extension for him now. 68.8. I mean, it's not going to merit a massive contract, but somebody's going to pay him, and maybe it'll be us. So good stuff here. Eamon Worry, not his best. He picked up a really dumb penalty. He had a very shaky game in coverage. He had one play he made in coverage where he knocked a pass down, almost picked it, but handful of tackles. PFF grade continues to slip. We're still in a good place with him, though. I still like what he's doing, and his value to this team isn't necessarily that he's always going to play perfect. It's that his skill set allows this defense to do things they otherwise could not do. All right, so that'll do it for today. Let me know what you guys think down below. I will be seeing you guys soon with more videos, but let me know what you think about the young players on this team, and go Hawks.